What's up, friends? Welcome into another edition of Rock Chalk Sports here on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com. Our technical director is Elijah Schmidt. With Dan Courtwright, I'm Sean Kellerman. Thanks for joining us. Another full show for you today. We're going to have all sorts of content. KU football. We're talking a little Kansas City Royals baseball with David Lesky later. We've got all sorts of coverage, as always, here on Kansas Nation. First, want to shout out Miles Schneier and his team over at Crown Automotive. They are the best in the business. They've got the best sales and service staff over there. So if you're looking for a new Toyota, new Volkswagen, perhaps you would like a used car, they've got a great used lot as well over on South Iowa in Lawrence. Shout out to Miles Schneier and his team at Crown. Hey, here in the opening segment, we are going to be talking about something that is probably not our favorite topic to talk about, but it is in the news. This whole disaster that is extra year of eligibility in the NCAA, particularly with the class of 2022 high school graduates, people who have gone on to either sign pro contracts or participate with a professional organization. Going to get into that and some of the stuff that came out earlier today regarding conferences and them potentially passing laws, rules, whatever you want to call it, that those players cannot return. Talk about that here in the opening segment. We are going to talk about the Kansas City Royals, the surging Kansas City Royals, next segment as we go inside the Crown with David Lesky. As
You're all decked out, by the way, in Royal stuff.
What did you say?
You're all decked out.
I'm all decked out.
Yeah,
I am.
You're ready for it, man.
I'm ready for it.
You still have your finger on the pulse.
Inside the Crown with David Lesky. He's going to join us via Zoom to talk about the team that's won 8 games in a row. Royals' record is still not good, but maybe he has some optimism. I certainly do. We'll see what happens the final 5 or so weeks of the season. Following that, we're going to hear from KU defensive coordinator DK McDonald. He spoke last week at the Anderson Family Football Complex, and he'll give his take. He hasn't been saying the phrase that he said so often last year, which was fast, physical, and for each other. I haven't heard that as much.
Yeah.
So maybe they're switching it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're playing slow, mental, and selfishly.
I don't think so.
That's a Henry Greenstein quote, by the way. He loves
Henry.
it. He's gotten a lot better in press conferences, I think. I mean, that's been like my main thing is like, okay, he's, warming up a little bit, giving us some more stuff, and I think that he seems relatively excited to start the season. Where last year he'd be a little bit of abrasive, just because of the fact that I don't know if he just gets nervous around media or whatever it was, but yeah, he seems like he's in a good mood and he likes where the squad is at right now.
Yeah, after DK, we're gonna have a top 10 Tuesday.
Yeah,
this kind of relates to our open.
It does. I'm doing my top 10 stupid rules in honor of stupid rules being thrown around and rules that don't necessarily work or, different things like that. I'm just doing my top 10 stupid rules. Not necessarily laws. It was hard to do research on this because I Googled just like stupid rules, and then they'd be like, oh, it's illegal to whisper in someone's ear while moose hunting in Alaska. I'm like, I don't want these stupid rules. And I have a lot of rules that I think are really stupid, just like in everyday life. So not necessarily laws, just rules. But now there are stupid laws.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what is going on in the NCAA right now, but it's stupid. We can say that with most certainty. After that, we're going to hear a montage of some guys from KU Football Media Day. Like I said yesterday, all week we're going to have coverage. We're going to show you some exclusive interviews that we got with guys, and we're going to have some returning defenders, as heard from DK McDonald earlier in the show. So we're going to hear from Trey Lathan, Mason Ellis, Taylor Davis, and Blake Herold. And again, as the week rolls on, we'll hear from some newcomers. We'll hear some more sound from some offensive guys as well. The best of the best here on Kansas Nation. And then, to end the show, you were wanting to do some sort of special celebration, I guess.
Well, if you've been watching all this time, congratulations to you. Today marks 1 year to the day where we did our first show at the Kansas Nation studio. It wasn't our first show ever, because that was back at the old show. And then our first show on KansasNation.com was actually at Hy-Vee on August 22nd before the Fresno State game. But our first show ever here at the Kansas Nation studio was actually August 25th of 2025. So congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Congratulations. Do you have anything special planned? Memories. We can just relive great memories.
Yeah, just take a trip down memory lane. I do have something, a little special something that I have packed for
Is
this.
it Buzz Zero?
No, it's not. Do you want to do? I want to do this. Maybe this coming week we can do an award show.
Yes, we've had discussion about award show. We haven't necessarily finalized who gets what.
Well, I have like a list of awards.
Yes. Yeah, dude,
so
you're passionate about this. I feel like we should do it.
Yeah. I want to wear like a suit. I texted you and I said, "Are you going to wear suits?" And you said, "I'm never going to wear a suit."
I expected you to come in with a suit.
Today?
I said I'm not going to, but I don't know. Either yesterday or today. Didn't happen.
Well, I think we both should come in wearing suits. I think Elijah should wear a suit.
You think? It is 1,000,000 degrees outside.
It is 1 million. Today's not going to be that bad.
Oh, okay. You are wearing long sleeves. That was interesting.
Well, I went on a walk this morning, and it was like 68.
Oh.
So I threw this on, and I just
Look
never
at
took it
you
off.
getting up and walking the dog, man.
Yeah,
Proud of you.
I know, right?
All right, let's get into this here in the opening segment. This came out earlier today, and we are pre-recording the show, so if there's new news that came out in the past few hours, then we apologize. But this is an ever-changing situation that we're in. The first thing that we saw was an article from Brad Crawford, CBSSports.com, Dan, and the article is Big Ten to pass rule barring NFL players from returning to conference. Could this decision backfire? First paragraph, the article says, the Big Ten is expected to pass a rule today that forbids players from returning from the NFL to play for a Big Ten program. According to ESPN, if a player has declared for the NFL draft, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a professional football league, their return to the Big Ten is prohibited. This is the Big Ten kind of taking a stand, and as we've seen even, in the past hour or so since we've been here at the studio kind of talking about this, Dan, other conferences are more so following in the footsteps of the Big Ten rather than this potentially being a situation that backfires the Big Ten. I feel like the conferences are kind of coming together right now saying this is getting out of hand. We got to change something.
Yeah, so the Big 12 came out and they said that they're going to try to figure something out along those same lines. The Big 12, this is per Ross Dellinger, said the Big 12 also considering a league-wide policy banning pro players returning to conferences, meaning that all 4 power leagues are set to consider such rules. So the SEC came out with a statement, and then I believe they also came out with all right, we're going to try to figure something out. The ACC, within the last hour, as we've been recording the show, ACC also is considering doing such things. But it is interesting. The Big Ten, kind of kicked this whole thing off, I guess, if you will. And if you're not up to breast on what's happening around the world of athletics, essentially there was a blanket injunction saying that all class of 2022 athletes would be granted another year of eligibility. That was in Colorado, and then it didn't get approved in the 10th Circuit. So now, instead of the blanket injunction, now everyone has to file their own individual lawsuits. There are some people who have filed their own individual lawsuits. We're seeing some in Kentucky. We're seeing some in Ohio. I mean, all over the place, people are filing their own individual lawsuits suing the NCAA. But now conferences are getting involved, and conferences are saying, like, hey, if you played in the NFL, and I would imagine this is going to bleed over into the NBA as well, right? Because you have guys like, and we've talked about this a lot, Trey White. Right, Trey White is a perfect example of somebody who's affected by this because he was in the class of 2022, graduated, played basketball with the Miami Heat in the summer league, did not sign an NBA contract, but these things are moving forward where Texas Tech has signed a bunch of guys, and then now LSU has signed a couple of guys as well. It was a Daquan Wright, I believe, and then there was another defensive lineman, I believe, who signed to or committed to play for LSU. All of it's bad, right? I mean, I think we can both agree on that. That's not a crazy, stupid take to say that, this is not good. Like, you cannot have guys who have already left college, played in the NFL or the NBA or wherever, and then decide, you know what? Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of this. But at the same time, right, there's a great quote in here by Ryan Day in this article. He says, I told myself I would stop saying this is crazy, so I'm not going to say that. But to think that we're in a situation where we're this late in the season and our rosters are not locked in is frustrating at the very least. So what does that mean for us? That's the bottom line. In my opinion, the conferences have to decide if there's a point where the rosters have to be locked in. Because once some of these guys become available, adding them to the roster is going to provide an advantage for certain teams. So we're certainly having conversations. I've had conversations with the Big Ten commissioner, Tony Petitti, about this. He's all over it. But Ryan Day also goes on to say, if there are teams that have some players out who are cut from NFL rosters that are going to be on other teams. We, quote, parentheses, Ohio State, this is Ryan Day talking, have to at least consider looking at it. He said, do I like anything about it? Absolutely not. But we got to do what's right for Ohio State. It's sort of a day-to-day thing right now. And like anything, we're just going to try to adapt. And this is something that I've talked about a lot. I talked about this off air with you, and I think Springer, or maybe it was on air, I can't remember, it was yesterday. Dabo Swinney is a perfect example of the beginning times of this whole new era that we're at in college athletics, where Dabo Swinney said, I don't like the transfer portal, I don't like NIL, and all this stuff. It's taking away from what college athletics used to be. I agree with Dabo Swinney in that aspect of things. But he refused to adapt, and what's happened to Clemson since? They have been since left in the dust. Clemson was a football powerhouse. Every single year, they're in the college football playoff, winning national championships, and what has happened to Clemson? They're not utilizing the resources like everyone else has. Now, you have all these different lawsuits happening where, this honestly, you can look at the first domino to fall with like Charles Bediako or James Najee for Baylor, right? Those two basketball players. Charles Bediako played for Alabama. James Najee played for Baylor. You look at that and you go, I hate that. Like, how could they ever think that's okay? But also at the same time, if you have the opportunity, if the opportunity presents itself for you to technically bend the rules and bring on a guy who played in the NBA, played in the G League, and bring him onto your college roster, a guy with a ton of experience who has played professionally, who has done it as a job, bring him back onto your roster, why wouldn't you, right? That's only going to give you another competitive advantage, right? So you have to adapt with the times, even if it means moving away from the morality of what once was college athletics.
People have their opinion on Lane Kiffin in particular, and he's been somebody who's been at the forefront of this because he has gone out and tried to bring, in his case, some former players of his at Ole Miss to LSU if they had gone on to the NFL draft, not gotten drafted, or even participated in fall camp and, got waived or whatnot. It's not Lane Kiffin's job, as this article points out, to fix the NCAA. His job is to build the best roster.
Right.
And I totally get that. And like you said, maybe it's bending the rules, maybe it's not bending the rules, but currently, as it stands right now, it's not breaking the rules. And nobody likes that. I'll say that first and foremost. I think everybody else, I don't know, I want to say everybody, but I think most people out there agree with what Dan Lanning said. And again, we're referencing an article right now on CBSSports.com about, the Big Ten being maybe the first conference to take a stand and say, once you go to the NFL, you can't come back. You go to the NFL draft, you get undrafted, that's a bummer, but you can't come back. I love what Lanning said, and this kind of explains it, I think, in a way that a lot of people resonate with. He says, quote, I think there are a lot of negatives that are involved around this. One, once you go to the NFL, to me, you're in the NFL. You don't get the opportunity to come back. Two, most of us has built our rosters. You have a limited roster now. So if you've invited somebody back to your team, that means you're kicking somebody else off your team to match your roster limits. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's fair to players who worked all summer, all spring, and put themselves in position to be ready to work for a team, end quote. I'm sure there are a ton of people who say, oh, life's not fair. And Lane Kiffin is probably one of those people saying, hey, these two that are maybe the last two guys on the roster, sorry, I'm bringing these former NFL guys. Appreciate all your work. I get it. I get all that. But I think most people run parallel to Dan Lanning in this, that, hey, you can't just come back as a fail-safe. You can't come back when it doesn't work out for you at the NFL because you aren't good enough or not deemed good enough to make an NFL roster. It's treating college football kind of like the minor leagues in a way, but it just – I don't know what the answer is. I don't think anybody knows what the answer is, but I do think overall, all-encompassing what we talked about, this is a good step, and the fact that ACC, Big 12 are potentially doing the same thing, it's a good step because it's gotten out of hand, and hopefully we're close to the end of the tunnel here, even if it's not going to be perfect for this year or maybe even next.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Springer said it yesterday, this is probably the last gasp that they have, because if the 5-5 rule does get implemented, which it is going to get implemented, right? The class of 2022 is the only class where this injunction has been put into place, and now there are going to be separate lawsuits. I'm sure there will be lawsuits in the future, but having the 5-5, having this grandfather year in where things are kind of murky right now, there's a lot of gray areas just because it gets implemented next year. So you have guys where you're like, oh, all right, well, the rule can apply, whatever rule benefits you can apply to you just for this year. And then after that, it is bam, 5 years, doesn't matter. We are putting that into place. That's it. That's all you get.
No medical red shirts.
No medical red shirts, no regular red shirts. You get 5 years, and that's it.
The other thing that this article points out is, I mentioned it because it's in the title of the article, could this decision backfire? And again, shortly after this came out about the Big Ten, the other conferences, have said something similar in that they might be pursuing the same thing. But the other thing is, is the Big Ten hurting themselves by not doing this because you're not going after top-end talent? I like the fact that, while they haven't said the exact same thing, there seems to be some alignment from, the head coaches of the number 1 and number 2 team in college football right now in Ohio State and Oregon, and maybe there's something to be said for that. They have their rosters with guys who they have right now, and they don't want other programs going out and getting guys who potentially were NFL-type guys. But still, Ryan Day and Dan Lanning, they seem to have their heads on straight and seem to, like I say, run parallel with the fans and the people around college athletics. Like, there has to be a line. There has to be somebody to take a stand and say, no, I understand times are changing, but there is a line here.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And I think it's good for them because that shows me that they have a moral compass, right? And it goes back to what you said. Lane Kiffin's job is not to be the most moral man in the room. His job is to make the best roster possible so that LSU wins games. If there is a way that he can get former NFL guys onto his roster, why wouldn't he do it? Because that is his job. His job is to assemble a roster that can win football games. So I totally understand that. And if other people are going to start doing this, then you plant your feet in the ground, you will get left in the dust. That's why I think somebody needs to come in and nip this in the bud. That's why I like the fact that these conferences are getting together and saying, hey, we all agree this is bad. This is terrible. You cannot and should not be allowed to do this. And Ross Dellinger had a really interesting tweet. He said, important to note that league-wide rules do not absolve a conference from legal challenges. He said, in fact, conferences will likely now be sued by athletes as defendants in separate lawsuits or added as defendants in existing lawsuits, many times in front of the same judges. So these athletes who are suing the NCAA to try to get another year of eligibility, to try to go back and win, now there's another rule being put in place by the conferences. Now they're just going to sue the conferences and saying, well, now the conferences are oppressing us or whatever word that you want to say. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the way that these things are going to be phrased. But that's essentially what it's going to be. It's like, hey, now the conferences don't want us to play. Now we're, really being oppressed because we got screwed by COVID because we didn't get an extra year for COVID, and then we didn't get an extra year for this. I understand that argument, especially if you're in the class of 2022. That's why I think that this is going to be the last year, because now after this year, after the class of 2022, if they get this extra year, fine, whatever, who cares? But after this, there's going to be no real case for any of these guys in the class of 23 or 24 or 25. Doesn't matter. They're not going to have a real case that they can put forth in front of a court unless they get some corrupt judge like the judge in Lubbock or like the judge in Tuscaloosa, which, breaking news, there's some corrupt judges out there.
But there's just not going to be as many legitimate or borderline legitimate cases as there are with players who were in the class of 2022. There's no doubt about that. There might be a one-off now and again where a guy had to take a medical red shirt or 2 medical red shirts or would have when medical red shirts were a thing and the whole 5-5, and maybe there's a one-off, but it's not going to be like it is right now. But the fall sports season is here. So, yes, this is the last ditch effort, we think, we hope, but at the same time, this needs to be done soon. So
that's the other thing. It's like, do you really want to add somebody right now? There's football games going on this week.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think anybody is cheering for any program who get. But again, it's tough because, like, if Kansas were to go out and get one of these players, it's like, well, you're not breaking the rules. You're trying to build the best roster. So I don't know. It's
Kansas
kind of
is
where we're
linked
at.
to T.J. Harden, who had a cup of coffee in the NFL, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I understand. Like Lance Leipold said, they're going to weigh their options, right? They're going to. I mean, if they can get somebody, then sure, because that's Lance Leipold's job. Lance Leipold's job is to build the best roster to win football games. He doesn't want to get left behind, but I think this is a good move forward that the conferences are getting together and saying, hey, we're not allowing this.
Well, hopefully there's some legs to this, and all the conferences can band together and figure this out. But, yeah, it's a mess right now in college athletics. Hey, after this, we're going inside the crown with David Lesky. He's going to join us via Zoom to talk Royals baseball, ESPN Kansas City and kansasnation.com. All right, very shortly, we're going to be joined by David Lesky from Inside the Crown to talk Royals baseball. I got to tell you about Jayhawk checking from Central Bank. The Jayhawk debit card allows you to carry your school pride with you wherever you go. Central Bank is the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, and they're committed to serving Jayhawk fans with banking options designed for real life. You can learn more about Jayhawk checking and the exclusive debit card at jayhawkchecking.com. jayhawkchecking.com. Central Bank, the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas. Member FDIC. All right, David, thanks so much for joining us. Again, Dan pointed out that I am all decked out in Royals gear, and I had one response, and that was, man, it's all about the pennant chase right now. The Royals have won 8 games in a row. All signs point toward the postseason as they are just 8 games back of the wild card. I semi-kid, but it's actually been fun. They sweep the homestand. And, yeah, they're still 16 under 500, but, you know, we've given up at different points throughout this season. So here on August 25th, I'm going to say let's enjoy the ride and see what happens. Your thoughts on the success the past week and a half or so?
Well, I mean, part of it obviously is the opponents, right? Like the Angels, they started against the Angels and they stink out loud. Then they continued against the A's and they stink out loud. Although they got a general manager fired, so good on them. But then like the Tigers, yes, they're struggling and they're 2-9 now since Riley Green went on the IL. I think I saw, but Tigers are in the playoff race. I don't know how, but the Tigers are in the playoff race and they went out and they swept the Tigers and it wasn't particular. The Tigers had a lead in the first inning on Sunday. And then I'm trying to remember, the Royals scored 5 in the second. And so the Tigers held a lead for all of an inning and a half in the entire series. It was not like, the typical Royals Tigers, back and forth, back and forth. No, the Royals dominated that series. And, you know, I mean, yeah, they tied it up, but they still didn't have a lead on Sunday after the first inning. But it's been nice to see. Look, what we're seeing, and people talk about the second half. It's really this last week. I mean, they're 17-12, I believe. Am I wrong on that number? I looked it up and I can't remember what it was, but I think they're 17-12 since the break. And obviously that means they were 9-12 before this stretch. I'm going to look it up real quick because I think I might be wrong. No, 20-15. That's right. So they're 12-15 before this stretch. But what you're seeing is guys. Well, first of all, Vinny Pasquantino came back, and he looks like Vinny Pasquantino. That to me is bigger than anything else. Garcia came back, looked like Garcia until he got hurt again. So it's hard to go there. But like Bobby Witt Jr. has been really good since he came back, also from an injury. They've gotten Kyle Isbell had a really good week, and I think I need to look more into this, but I think Q talks about this on Saturday or Sunday, how Isbell made an adjustment before the Tigers series and it just clicked immediately, which you don't see often, but whatever. Like Nick Lofton obviously had a big 3-run homer on Sunday. Salvi's hit well and is running the bases like a madman. I mean, 100% stolen base rate. How do you
right?
You
First
get
in 5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was out there. It was. I looked up and I was like, oh, he's going. Oh, he's still going. He's still going. He's there. He made it. But like, I mean, you go by weighted runs created plus. They had 13 players taken at bat last week. 3 of them were below 100, which is league average. And one of them was Tyler Tolbert, who had 2 of the biggest plate appearances of the entire winning streak.
Oh my God, yeah.
So, I mean, it's the 10th best weighted runs created plus on this team was Carter Jensen at 118. So yes, that they're hitting, and this is not sustainable. Obviously, 8-0 is not sustainable. Just like Noah Cameron at one point, whatever it is not sustainable. But they are showing why people thought they could compete for the division. It's way too late, and it is building against some bad baseball teams. But it's just nice to see some wins. I also I think it's interesting, and this is a probably a more holistic question, but or not, maybe not question, but like the Royals are pitching much better too. Like the starting rotation in the second half has a 3.65 ERA, and they're doing it with Randy Dobnak,
Oh my God.
with Daniel Lynch, with the corpse of Seth Lugo, um, and like there some of it's Noah Cameron obviously pitching really well since he started calling his own pitches against Detroit, and that wasn't actually even a start, so it doesn't help the starters' numbers. But they're eighth in baseball in ERA from the starting pitching in the second half of the season. The bullpen has not been great. Obviously, we Lucas Ursay got sent down, Matt Strom got released since the second half, and so they're 26th in baseball since the second half. But that seems to have quieted down a little bit. And like you take out Mason Black's 2/3 of an inning on Sunday, which you can't do, but let's do it. Um, and that helps quite a bit. Although then you add in Noah Cameron's 7 innings against the Tigers, and that helps too. But that seems to have stabilized quite a bit here in the second half. And my question, I was looking at this earlier. In 2024, the Royals had a 536 winning percentage in the first half, 528, I think, in the second half. So roughly the same. One more win and it would have been the same, or 524, whatever. Last year, they had some sub 500 record in the first half, and then they were 538 in the second half. This year, obviously, rough first half, and now they're well over 500 in the second half. I don't think it's about winning in the second half. I think it's about how to stop losing in the first half, honestly.
Yeah.
And they have to figure that out. And that's I don't have an answer for you. But that to me is what they have to figure out moving into next year.
Yeah, they really do. I've been a Royals fan my whole life, and yes, there are a few exceptions, and 2024 was one of them. But it seems like it is kind of this same cycle, right? Of a terrible start, then you dig too deep of a hole, and then you start playing better about this time of the year, and then people get excited, and then you start looking forward to next year. And I get that, but at the same time, it is fun seeing what the Royals have done, even though they're not facing the best of the best teams. Nick Lofton is hitting, and guys are playing more just offensively. They're just better. They're playing better baseball. They're hitting more power. They're hitting better situationally. And yeah, that might not be sustainable to score the amount of runs they have been. But let's just look at this. Humor me for a bit. 58 and 74. You look at the schedule moving forward, you're playing a bunch of average teams. And yeah, you got to jump a ton of teams. But the American League is terrible. If the Royals go 22 and 8, then you go 80 and 82. And I know that's a big ask. And I was going to ask you about Cags and about Michael too. But it's been fun. And you got to think, at least in the clubhouse, they're starting to notice it and say, hey, just control what we can control. Go out, win games.
Yeah, and look, you're right. The schedule is interesting. I mean, they play every team they play. Well, I haven't looked. I don't know where the Pirates are right now. Let's see. They're 7.5 back. I don't think the Royals are in it right now, so I can't say the Pirates are in it right now.
Yeah.
Every team but the Pirates is in the race. They play the Blue Jays, who are 2 games back of the wild card. They play the Astros, who are a half game back of the wild card and tied for, or no, I'm sorry, the Rangers won, so the Astros are a half game back of the wild card. They play the Guardians, who are currently the third wild card at 66 and 66. They finish with the Tigers, obviously. They get the Marlins, who are 4 games back. They get the Diamondbacks, who are 2 games back. Every team but the Pirates is in the playoff race for them. But the best team they face is it the Diamondbacks?
Yeah,
6 games
69
open?
and 63, I think.
Yeah, and so the Marlins are over 500, largely on the back of sweeping the Nationals, who have fallen back to earth as we expected. The Diamondbacks are over 500. The Guardians are at 500. The Astros are under. The Blue Jays are under. Like, they play a lot of teams in the playoff race, but a lot of teams who are mediocre. And if you think the Royals are a mediocre team that played poorly in the first half, they're equals. And I don't look at Cleveland as significantly better than the Royals. Their record is, but I don't think they're that much better than the, the Royals' actual talent level is, especially with some healthy guys. And so, yeah, I mean, you're right. It's they have to win the game they're playing, and they can't worry about anybody else. I they need there's a lot of work that has to be done before I say they're in the race. I don't think they are. But the fact that there is work to be done and they're not just finished after the way they were playing, uh, look, you can't complain about that. And I'll point out it took an 8 game winning streak to get to 16 games under 500. That means that they were a really bad team. Like they were. There's no we can't sugarcoat that. Why they were a really bad team, there's a ton of reasons. Some might see them as excuses, some are definitely not excuses, they're just reasons. But if you think that they're the team that you thought they were, or at least somewhat in the realm of that, they should have a chance in every game they play. Now, my concern, they're 22 and 44 on the road. If you can't win on the road, it doesn't matter because let's look at it that way. If they keep that pace up, they have 15 road games left, right? 20, yeah, 15 road games left. That's 5 and 10. Well, if they lose 10 more games, they're already at 84 losses, and nothing matters. So they've got to figure out how to win on the road, which is no easy task. And we'll see tonight and the rest of this week, and then I think they only have one more road trip, but which by the way is crazy. But if that's a big hurdle, and it's a big reason why I don't consider them in this. But if they get, I said this a couple days ago, if they get to 20 games left and they're 4 out, and or I think it have to be at least at most 5 out if they only have 3 teams to pass, or 4 out and doesn't matter, I'll talk about them being in the race. Because so these next 10 games are really big for them. If they want to have a real shot, they probably need to. I don't know if they need to win it tonight, but they probably need to go 8-2, and then you're looking at 16-2 and 17-3 over a 20 game stretch, which feels impossible. But hey, they put themselves in a spot that impossible is at least somewhat possible.
Yeah, I mean, right. They've won 8 games, and who would have thought that would be
Yeah,
possible back, before the All-Star break?
totally, totally.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess I'm interested to know because obviously, technically, they're not out of the playoff race. A lot of things need to happen, and you look at the sustainability. I guess obviously coming off of this big win streak, and Cags has been awesome in the month of August. He's batting 403 in the month of August, right? Bobby's been awesome. Vinny comes back, and he's back to kind of his form. But I'm curious to know kind of like where the motivation comes from. Is it like rah speeches from Cotrero? Is it Vinny led? Is it Salvi led? Like how do they sustain this level of success? Because mathematically they're not eliminated, but there a lot of stuff has to happen for them to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this in 2023, and I hate that this season is more like 2023 than the last two, but I think the leadership on this team has been very clear for years, and it's that Matt Quatrero's like his emphasis on today is super corny, but it does feel like it resonates with this group because they really they don't let bad losses hurt them the next day. I mean, I think about some of the ugliest losses of the year did not turn into 2 game losing streaks or six, whatever, however many games plus one. Like I think about that first weekend, the ugly game that Estevez blew, they won the next day, and they consistently seem to do that. And so I think that there is a very big emphasis on we are going to play the game we play today, and what happened yesterday doesn't matter, and what will happen tomorrow doesn't matter. There are like pulling Noah Cameron at 85 pitches on was that Friday night? Yeah, it was Friday night. Like, well, why did he do that? Okay, that had to do with the previous start of 115 and the rest of the season. So they do have to look. You have to look at everything. But the guys on the field, I really think that they buy into this. Hey, this is the day that we can play. We can't play tomorrow. We can't play yesterday. We're going to play today. I think that says a lot. I also think you go back. We talked about this before the break. They need to do something to keep the team together. Now, they didn't trade everybody off and trade many people off, actually, for a number of reasons. But I think that if you're Vinny Pasquantino, if you're Salvador Perez, if you're Bobby Witt Jr., Michael Waka, who didn't get moved, all that, you're like, look, let's give JJ Piccolo less reason to move to break this team up. Now, I think they do need to make some moves, and we can get into that as we get closer to the offseason, into the offseason. But I think that if from the player's perspective, it's hey, if we want to stay together, we have to win games. Simple as that. And so let's just do it. And it sounds easier. It's easier said than done and all that. But I think that's a big part of it too. They want to stay together, so they finding a way to convince the front office they should stay together.
Yeah. Well, it's been fun as David Lesky joins us from Inside the Crown to talk Royals baseball. We thought we might have an E next to our name in terms of number of games back by this point of the season, given how the season started. But the Royals, 8 games back, the wild card. Yeah, they don't have a ton. They got 30 games. They're probably going to have to go somewhere in the 22-8 range to crack a playoff spot. But again, it's been fun seeing these guys. And again, You have guys like Michael Massey and John Raven, and Nick Lofton has proven that he can be a major league hitter. Tyler Tolbert, how many big moments has he had this past month? That's been so much fun. But then also there's the two-headed monster that has become, a duo almost as good as any in Major League Baseball, and Bobby Witt and Jack Caglione, at least their future, it looks like could be like that. What update can you give us on Cags, because he was scratched from Sunday's game? And then also Maikel Garcia, he goes back on the IL with a hamstring strain. Is he going to be able to come back at some point in September? Because we're seeing with Vinny performing and these other guys performing that offensively the Royals can actually compete very well with some of these other teams.
Yeah, on Garcia, I'd be surprised at this point because I think what'll happen. I think there's a chance he could come back. I haven't seen a grade on his strain, and if it's not bad, I mean, I suppose he could be out the 10 days, maybe get a couple rehab at bats in Omaha or Northwest Arkansas or wherever, and be back. But I think what'll probably happen, my gut is he's going to take as long as he takes, and then it's going to get to a point that the Royals are actually eliminated or almost eliminated, and they're going to say, hey, just shut it down for the year. And so, it's one of those things that if they were in the race, if they were a game back, yeah, he might come back for the last week. I just don't think it'll happen. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's a grade 1 strain, or it's not even a graded strain, and it grabbed him for a minute, and he'll be back in a week. Caglione sounds like he's going to play today. Now, he was in the lineup on Sunday, so the lineup can come out later today and have Caglione's name in it, and I'm not going to believe he's playing until I don't know what time they play, 6:07, 6:10, whatever it is. But it just sounds like it's kind of something he has to nurse. And my concern is they're playing on turf in Toronto. Now it's field turf, so it's a little bit different, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I wonder if he has to DH, and if he has to DH, that does cause some issues with Salvi and Vinny Pasquantino and all that. So we'll see how that goes, but it sounds like he's going to be available today. I'll tell you, the one guy who I'm super intrigued by, Tony Gonsolin, who they signed last week and a half ago. He's going to Omaha, it sounds like. And he's going to throw about 50 pitches. We might see the Catman in Kansas City at some point. So I'm just curious how that goes. Yeah, I'm curious how that goes.
Yeah, for sure. Gonsolin, just 32 years old, honestly, had some really good moments for the Dodgers. So, yeah, that's been fun to see. Well, I mean, you look at some of the guys that the Royals are going to be facing, you've got a guy you can hit tonight in Max Scherzer, the corpse of Max Scherzer, as you would say. And shout out to him, by the way, being top 10 all-time in strikeouts. But, you got a TBD guy in a couple days. Yeah, you have Shane Bieber, but then you got Tanner Bybee, a guy you can get to. I mean, the Royals have something going offensively. It's all about getting the consistent starting pitching. And then do you like what you see? Last thing for you, David, because there's so many different ways I can go. Steven Cruz and Carlos Duran, do you like those guys in the future, the back end of the Royals bullpen?
I mean, Duran's got to throw strikes, right? Like that's the biggest thing. But I mean, the stuff is there. Add in Nate Pearson, who has been really good since the Royals picked him up.
Nate Pearson revenge series coming up.
Yeah, for sure. A few Nate Pearson revenge. I mean, he's got the Astros too.
Right.
But it's nice to see the power arms because you're watching Matt Strom try to get done with 92 and John Schreiber at 94. And look, Strom obviously was terrible, but you can do it. Those guys have to be your 5th and 6th inning guys. You need power in the back end, and they're stockpiling some power, which is really nice. Like Duran had that big moment. He got the win on, what was that, Tuesday night last week, I think. But then walked 3 guys and needed to be bailed out. So the control's got to be there, but it is so nice to see that power stuff in the back end of the bullpen. And now real quick, I know we're running out of time here, but I will say I don't think you want Pearson as your closer. I don't think you want Cruz as your closer. I don't think you want Duran as your closer. You definitely don't want Duran as your closer next year. But the fact that at least Pearson and Cruz are getting that experience, pitching the ninth inning, the eighth inning, huge for when they do go get a proven closer, because they're going to. I will promise you they will sign somebody who has at least 75 career saves. I'll tell you that right now. I should have looked first because there might be somebody with like 72, but a quote unquote proven closer. The fact that they'll have Cruz and Pearson in setup or middle inning roles who have that experience is going to be huge for 2027.
Yeah, I mean, and as Denny Matthews says, if you don't have a bullpen, you don't have anything in today's baseball.
Yep.
And the Royals maybe are seeing some pieces. That's been part of the fun this past week and a half or so. David Lesky has great coverage of the Royals on Inside the Crown, inside.crown.substack.com. Give him a subscription. He's got over 5,000 subscribers. And let's keep winning, keep this thing going. Appreciate your time as always, David.
Yep, thanks, guys.
All right, more coming up here on Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City and kansasnation.com. Got to tell you about our friends over at Custom Lawn and Landscape. As we move from summer to fall, now is the time to make sure that your lawn finishes the season strong. The work you do in this month and in the upcoming month of September lays the foundation for a thicker, healthier, greener lawn next spring. So don't wait until the leaves start falling. Get ahead of the season now and enjoy a lawn that's healthy today and ready to thrive next year. Check out Custom Lawn and Landscape. Give the experts a call. Visit them online at customlawn.com. You can schedule your fall lawn care program. That's Custom Lawn and Landscape, your partner for a beautiful lawn in every season. All right, let's go back to the KU football building. We're going to hear from defensive coordinator DK McDonald.
DK, how's everything going in the secondary? Obviously, you had some injuries there, but it seems like people are getting healthier.
Yeah, it's a good thing now that guys are getting healthy. The thing about injuries is it gave some other guys a great opportunity to get in and play, and now we're getting guys back, which is really good. You know, Roman Pearson has done a great job this camp. You know, Double A started slow, but these last 2 weeks he's really picked it up and done a great job and really taken his game to another level there. Jalil Hurley has a couple of good days in there, which has been really good for us. Then at safety, you know, we got some guys who are doing a good job. I feel like our safety depth is going to be as good as we've had here in a while. So I'm excited about that. And they're out there making plays. You know, we're getting some picks and different things like that, which is good. And, you know, they're fitting the run good. They're blitzing good. So I'm excited about our secondary this year and what they're doing and what they showed in camp so far. And I'm looking forward to what they're going to do the next couple of days here as we wrap things up.
And then where are you guys at with the options you have for the nickel?
You know, we got some guys rotating in there right now. They're doing a good job. We're really excited about that position. You know, we got a mix of older guys and younger guys, which is good. And they're doing a good job both covering. We got some guys who can, they're actually doing a really good job blitzing. And we got a lot of those guys working with Coach Deneen and working on some pass rush and stuff, which has been really good for those guys too.
Kaijon, coming from Iowa State, obviously you had experience with Campbell and the staff there. What did you hear about him in the portal? And then now that you're actually able to work with him at camp, what have you kind of seen from him?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, when he was in the portal, you know, I called Coach Haycock and just kind of asked just about, you know, number one, his character, who he was, coachability, things like that. And all that stuff was off the charts. And the one thing, you know, Coach Haycock told me was that, you know, he was voted one of the top 5 athletes on their team there. So that was really impressive there. Just to hear that, the type of kid he was. And, you know, and that was exciting to get that type of caliber kid. He started in the Big 12 there. And they were really excited about him. Coach Haycock was really excited about him. And he was really glad he came here to help us out.
In practice, what have you seen from him? Like, what has he brought to kind of that nickel spot?
You know, he's an explosive young man. You know, when I talk about guys being able to blitz and cover, you know, he's able to do that. He's a thicker body there, so he's able to hold up in the run and do those type of things. And so, you know, he's kind of an athlete that we haven't had here in a while playing that nickel position. And so it's exciting to have that type of body able to do those things. And plus, like I said, he got some Big 12, you know, talent and starting that he's done here too, which is really good to have. And like I said, we haven't had that. So it's a nice little piece in addition to having our defense.
David Santiago's come up, and Coach Leipold talked about his improvement. When you think back to the spring versus what you've seen in camp, where is he taking the biggest step forward?
The biggest step he's taken is the pass rush ability. You know, I think he was just kind of find his footing and kind of trying to find his way there for us in the spring. But now you could tell in the summer he really put in work, and his pass rush ability is just really good. His ability to use his hands to get off blocks, to turn the corner, to dip, really good. And, you know, to be able to put him with Leroy and Bray and Dak He's given us another guy there, another weapon, and he's really had one of the best, camps of anybody on defense. So that's really exciting. I know all our defense coaches are excited about what he's done, and I'm looking forward to him bringing that towards the season, getting us ready for our Long Island and going from there, man. But I'm excited. David has had a tremendous camp, and hopefully can continue to push that through to the season.
Trey Brown is a true freshman whose name has come up a lot over the past couple weeks when we've talked to Coach Shelby or Lance. What have you seen from him this camp, and what's it like seeing him compete with some of those older guys?
The biggest thing I'll say about Trey Brown is that, it's not just camp. He put in the work over the summer. He's one of those guys who constantly in this building. I know his fingerprint has probably been used more than anybody coming in this building. And so that's been really exciting to see a guy putting in all that work, and then it pays off on the field. It's really not a coincidence that he's playing really well because, like I said, he spent the most time in this building learning, being in here with Coach Shelby, being in here with Coach Bryce, just all the coaches, man, picking their brain. When Coach Aquina came here, he picked his brain all the time. And so it's not a surprise when a young man plays that way because he put in all that work behind the scenes to go out and play. And that definitely built, he had true confidence because he really prepared. And so he's went out there, he made a lot of plays for us, done a good job. And, really excited about what he's done on special teams, too, for Coach O. That's been great to see, too. And a lot of young guys don't take that as serious as they should. But he came in, and he has a lot of maturity to him, and it's starting to show out there in practice.
How high do you think Leroy Harris's ceiling is with this team?
His ceiling is as high as he wants it to be. As long as he continue to work and do what he's doing right now, which is putting in a lot of work. He's another guy putting a lot of work behind the scenes for his pass rush, getting his body the way it has been. And, one of the biggest things I'm excited about Leroy, man, just his leadership. He's one of those guys who's come out and work every day and really taking a lot of guys with him and trying to bring guys up to his level. So it's been really good. But sky's the limit for Leroy. He has unbelievable athletic ability, has unbelievable strength, and he's a really smart young man, too. He's fun to be around. He's a great leader.
Turnovers can kind of be a volatile thing, and last year the defense didn't generate that much. I guess, how do you go about evaluating that, and what are you maybe looking at coaching-wise to try to find ways to create more of those opportunities to generate more turnovers?
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of things. I think the biggest thing is, turnovers are technique plus awareness. So really showing a lot of film, kind of showing guys where we kind of miss some opportunities, maybe to punch a ball out, to strip a ball, different things like that. That's something that we work on every day. After we do pursuit drill in practice, to start practice, we always go to takeaways. That's the next thing that we do. So just really emphasizing it there, maybe catching balls or some balls that we didn't catch, doing some tip drills, tips and overthrows, we got to get those. Just all type of things, trying to build our awareness and our technique on how to do things. And the next part of that is just really getting guys who can create turnovers. You talked about Leroy and, David, some pass rushers who can get up there and kind of make the quarterback throw some errant passes or maybe get some strip sacks. And having some linebackers who can separate people from the ball, having some safeties who can separate people from the ball. So, like I said, it starts with technique plus awareness, and then it's about some guys using the technique that they're being taught when those opportunities arise to get that ball out and get us the football. We know the two biggest stats that go to win a football game are takeaways and explosives. So we got to be great at those, and besides keeping the point total down.
You briefly mentioned the linebackers there for a second. I think it's one of you guys' strongest groups going forward, especially with the depth you guys added. What's been your impression of them so far in camp?
It's been really good. Once again, the biggest thing you're excited about there is just the leadership. Started with Trey Lathan. He's been a tremendous leader. He had a great mic'd up the other day that I watched, which was awesome. That's probably the most I've seen him talk, so we probably had to give him a mic a little more. But he's been doing a great job. His fits have been a lot better. Coverage-wise, he's done good. One thing Trey struggled with last year was getting off blocks. And so it was really good to see him working on that. He's been really good at that. You got Bam, who's doing a great job there. Q has had a great spring, and he's followed that up with another great camp here, which is great. Malachi, our young guy, he's 240 now, and he's playing like he's 6'3", 240, which is fun to see, So just the amount of depth, that we have there. I didn't even mention Jabril Alameen, who, his skill set is very special to have here. I'm really excited about what he's done his ability to come off the edge, play will linebacker, play to the field for us. So we got a lot of guys there, which is really good. It sparked a lot of competition, which has been something that we preach here and something that we needed. So those guys know they had to come to work every day. We've been able to mix and match guys, which has been really good. Some guys have been learning both Will and Mike, which has helped us build some depth also there. So just really excited about that group. I think it can be one of our strongest groups that we have on this team.
Bam said he had to earn his nickname at his previous stops, like throughout high school and college, stuff like that. Do you think he's earned that so far in camp?
Bam, you saying?
Yes,
that
Bam.
Nickname Bam?
He said he had to earn, like, so his nickname is Bam, but he had to earn it for coaches to call him that as previous stops. Do you think he's earned that? Like, because it's Bam for like being obviously aggressive and hitting players pretty hard. So I was wondering, like, has he earned that? Do you think so far?
I just call him Bam. So he's been doing a great job. Yeah, it's a cool nickname. If I had a son, I would give him that nickname too. So.
Obviously, it varies from year to year how many guys you want to rotate defensive tackle. How have some of the younger guys done in terms of maybe proving themselves worthy of being in the rotation?
I think that's a great question. You know, we always we just want to play guys we trust. You know, so if we trust 6, we want to play 6. You know, if there's just 3 guys we trust, then you're going to see 3 guys rolling out there. But the young guys have done a really good job. You know, I'm really impressed with Jabril Conde, just how he has worked. Been really good, you know, and to put on the weight he's been, and now you can tell he's comfortable playing in that weight, which is really good. The guy I've been really impressed with the last couple of practices is KO. I mean, he's been really playing really well and coming off the ball and striking and getting some good knockback, you know, and different things like that. So I'm really excited about those 2 guys and really what they've done for us there. And I think they can give us some really good depth along with what we already have there. And, you know, Marcus Calvin is really impressed me this spring. You know, you really didn't know what kind of thing he would be in a rotation, man, but he's really earned a really good spot in a rotation to help us out. So I'm really excited about that. I think our young guys are coming along. They're doing a good job. And I think we're going to have some pretty good depth there to help us out also.
Between now and Long Island on 2 Fridays from now, where do you want to see your defense take the biggest step forward?
It's just a continuation of what we're doing. I think our communication has been really good. I think our safeties can really take another step in that. I think our linebackers have done a tremendous job, you know, with their communication and everything. You know, continue just, like you said, having awareness for takeaways and different things like that. I think we've done a good job this camp, you know, getting takeaways, getting 4th down stops and different things like that. I like to see us improve a little bit, you know, just our red zone awareness. I think this part of camp is a really good part of camp to really work on. Hey, it's 3rd and 2. How are we playing there as opposed to 3rd and 10? That's different. You know, just that type of awareness. The ball being on the 12 as opposed to the ball being on 3. I just think that situational awareness stuff, I think we can really start to hone in now as we start to get ready for game time. I think as far as knowing the defense and doing that type of thing, I really think we're in great shape. I really like where we're at. We put in a lot of work this winter, this spring, this summer to really be in a good spot. But I just think our situational awareness, we can kind of hone in on, because that's going to be the difference between us winning and losing. This year is being great in those situational awareness type of things when the game's on the line, those 2-minute situations, different things like that. I think we can really, really just start to grow in that area and get a lot better.
Anything else for Coach McDonald? All right, thanks guys.
Appreciate you guys, man.
That's KU defensive coordinator DK McDonald. We're going to hear from a couple returners on the defensive side a little bit later in the show. Hey, if you're listening on ESPN Kansas City, flip on over to kansasnation.com for the back hour of Rock Chalk Sports. More coming up here on kansasnation.com. Welcome back, hour 2 of Rock Chalk Sports here on kansasnation.com. Got to tell you about our friends at Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment.
Oh.
Shout out to Mike Hanna, who is one of our great sales staff
Mike
here.
Hanna, Big Mike Banana.
It is. Did you Google those, by the way?
I did. They look crazy.
I'm telling you, but they taste like the banana Laffy Taffy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like artificial banana flavors, though.
Okay, well, then that's on you.
What do you mean that's on me?
I don't know. I love them. I think the banana Laffy Taffy are great. Although I pretty much choose sour apple over anything.
If I have the option to have a artificial banana flavored something, I'm going to pick the other. whatever it is.
Okay, so
It could
that's your dead last.
It could be artificial roast beef flavor. It could be
disgusting.
anything. I would pick it over
So
banana.
banana's last.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Piper?
She also doesn't like banana
That's
flavors.
weird. You know what's dead last for me? Grape.
Yeah,
But I'll have
maybe.
it like
Grape
at,
might be worse than banana.
like at our last job, we had a bunch of airheads that were about 9 months old, but we would go in and eat like 6 or 8 a day.
Yeah.
Just the little ones. We're not.
Towards the tail end, there was
barbarians.
only grape left.
Yeah, it was only grape, and then like a smattering of orange.
Yeah,
But I like the orange. The orange are a nice switch up. But I'm going like it's so easy to just crush. If you're talking airheads, you're gonna crush the cherry. You're gonna crush the white mystery.
I'm not crazy about cherry.
You're gonna
either.
crush the blue. You're gonna crush the watermelon.
Watermelon for sure.
And then on the Laffy Taffy side of things, I like the banana, but you're going for the strawberry.
Yeah,
I don't
green
know.
apple.
Green apple, yeah,
Laffy
like I said, that's my
Taffy's so
favorite.
good.
Sour Starburst is also a favorite of mine. Have to get them online.
Yeah.
Green apple, watermelon.
I'm just I mean, you know this. My second favorite flavor is blue.
Right.
So I'm going to go with the
you're
blue
always going with that.
every time.
Which leads us to our point that we were initially saying. Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment, partners of us here at Kansas Nation. 2 locations. There's a Lawrence location at 1795 East 1500 Road. There's also a Valley Falls location. That address is 13424 Edwards Road. They've got red, white, and blue summer savings. 0% financing on some of their models. 2026 models in stock for Can-Am. They've got tractors, trailers. If you want to prepare for the winter, they've got snow vehicles as well. Whatever you need, they've got at Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment, HEINENOPE.com. Our partners here at Kansas Nation. All right, it's a Top 10 Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's not Laffy Taffy flavors. It's not artificial flavors. But perhaps sometime down the line we'll do that.
Perhaps sometime down the line. I'll go with worst tasting banana flavors. And maybe we can have a smattering of an assortment that I didn't.
That would
Yeah,
be
there's
great.
no way I
we
used
haven't
that right.
we haven't had food on
have an
this
assortment and
desk
we
for
can-
quite some time.
Oh, Tyler Burr's brought this up. We should start doing like blind rankings of things. Like I can bring in, or like I can even think of the questions and then I have you blind rank different things.
Okay, what do you mean? Like food?
There was one. Well, so Hunter sent in a mailbag question. It was late, so we didn't get to it this week. But I have a list of tools. He said blind rank these tools.
Okay.
And so I have the list, so I can't blind rank them because I know what they are. But I can give them to you and have you blind rank, like, oh yeah, hammer.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you all of them, but
Right. All right. Well,
blind ranking's fun.
if you would like to engage with the show, we would love to have your questions, comments. KU mailbag segment we'll have tomorrow. We're also going to have Greenstein, KUsports.com, LJWorld.com here in studio. But yeah, if you send in questions wanting us to do a taste test of food, soda, anything that's, I guess, PG. I don't even know if it has to be PG, but for now we'll say PG.
PG-13.
Food, soda, that sort of thing. Dan said he's more than willing to go purchase said items for us, and we can do it right here on the Kansas Nation desk.
More than willing. I remember when Elliot had all those
That's what I'm saying. That's what made me think of
chips.
it.
I brought all those chips back, and Piper's like, "What are you?" I was like, "Yeah, it's for work."
Did you eat them all?
Yeah, of course I did.
We kept a couple of them
great.
here.
Yeah,
what did
we
we
kept a few
decide was
here.
the best?
It
Worst
was
were
the one
the
that you-
Chester's fries. Worst were the Chester's fries.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about them.
There was
Or the-
Lay's hot.
What?
Oh, it was the Flamin' Hot Limon Doritos.
Yeah, so good.
So good.
Anyway,
Number 10.
doing my top 10 stupid rules because there are a bunch of stupid rules being thrown around right now, a bunch of rules that don't matter. So I thought it'd be fitting to do my top 10 stupid rules. Coming in at number 10, I have a lot of sports ones on here, by the way, but this one's not a sports one. This is just an interesting one that I never understood as a child. No chewing gum in the classroom. Number 10. Do you agree with me on this? Why was that ever a rule?
I do agree with you.
Right?
I don't know why it was a rule. I think probably, honestly, just from people blowing bubbles, right? I'm sure teachers would just get upset because people are popping their bubbles and smacking their gum.
I remember
That is a dumb rule.
You know what's weird? When I was in high school, we had like this little like cart outside of Miss Lindell. Shout out to Miss Lindell. I think it was hers. She would like sell packages of gum for like 50 cents to students.
At school?
Yeah, at
But then
school.
you couldn't have them.
But then she would sell these packages of gum, but then like she'd be like, "Hey, you can chew them between classes." you had like 3 minutes between classes. What am I going to chew a piece of gum for 3 minutes and
Right.
then toss it out?
What
This
is the
stupid-
appropriate time to chew a piece of gum for, though?
I'd say
Like
15,
12?
20.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I go longer,
Yeah.
but just more of a rationer.
David, you know what gum I like? David Lawrence always has this in his work bag, and he always offers me some. He always like puts 2 pieces out. It's,
What a nice
it's very nice. But the Mentos gum
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that like start crunchy and then they
Mhm.
last for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
They come in the little canisters.
I had some not too long ago in my bag. They're just rattling around in there. Why couldn't you chew gum in class? Didn't make sense. Never made sense to me.
It's got to be the popping of bubbles, right?
remember
It has to be the blowing and popping of bubbles.
I might have been in like 2nd grade or something, and they're like, "Oh, because if you chew gum, then everyone's gonna want a piece, and it's not fair to everyone." That's also stupid. It's my gum.
Bring their own gum.
Yeah, bring your own gum. How about that? I guess maybe like if you're like young, you take it out and like get stuck in your hair or whatever. But like high school, like that didn't even make sense.
No.
It didn't make sense at all. Why couldn't you chew gum?
Agreed.
Let me chew gum. I want to chew my gum. Stupid. What if I have bad breath? What if I need to talk to a lady? You know.
True.
See, these are the things that are important. Number 9, another interesting non-sports one. No swimming after you eat.
Yes.
Have you ever? Because I think I know the reason. The reason is like, oh, you could like start cramping up if you eat and then start swimming. But it's like, also it's like that's fuel. Swimming needs calories to do.
Yeah.
So like, that doesn't make sense to me at all.
Well,
have you ever cramped up while you've been swimming because of food?
No. Don't they say it's like you got to wait half an hour
Yeah.
or something after that? That's ridiculous. If you are, if you are practicing to be the next Katie Ledecky, then sure, you probably shouldn't eat a couple cheeseburgers before
Yeah.
you're swimming the 1500.
Yeah, but you're splashing around.
But if you're in there splashing around with your kid, then yeah, I'm gonna eat these Hawaiian roll sandwiches right now, and I'm gonna get right back in the pool.
Why would they have a concession stand at a pool if you're not allowed to swim?
That's true.
30 minutes
There's
afterwards.
There's only so much sunlight.
I know.
I used to
Ridiculous.
babysit summers in high school. There was this family of a couple boys that I used to babysit for from time to time, and we would go, like, we had the same tradition. Like, we would play ball outside. I think they liked that I was a guy. We would play ball outside in the morning, maybe watch a little TV, get lunch, and then after the lunch, man, we're going to the pool.
Absolutely.
And then we would play for a little bit, and then go get our ice cream sandwiches. Bam, right back in the pool.
It's been a rule forever.
There were no issues.
See,
no
like,
issues.
I understand like the no running because like it's slippery.
Yeah.
Sure.
No running at the pool is a great rule.
It's a good rule.
Yeah.
I've seen way too many kids slip and fall and crack their heads.
Yeah. Ava slipped and stubbed her toe on a pool noodle, and man, it was a disaster.
She running?
Actually, I don't think she was. I think she was walking.
Oh,
a little clumsy. But
yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, no, you don't want anything too bad.
Yeah, that's fair. Number 8 on my top 10 dumb rules. I'm going to go, people like it. I don't. I'm going to go with baseball coaches having to wear the uniform.
I agree with you on that.
Why?
I used to like it.
Yeah, it's funny to see a 50-year-old man with a beer belly walk out with a baseball jersey and baseball pants and turf shoes. No, it's stupid.
If you've noticed, more and more managers, I think, agree with this. Like, Aaron Boone comes to mind.
Yeah.
He
jacket.
He has the pants, but he's always wearing the jacket or the shirt or the zip up or something, because I think he agrees it looks kind of dumb.
It is dumb. Why do they need to have a number, too? That doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
What number? Wasn't Ned Yost like number 2?
Have you seen those things on social media? Number 3.
The 3.
The
number 2
things
is
on
Alcides
social
Escobar.
media of like football and basketball coaches wearing the jerseys of their team.
Yeah,
like,
I know. And it's like, that's so stupid. Like, it's like, haha, it's funny.
Like Bruce
for
Weber,
like a second.
Bruce Weber wearing the lavender every man, woman, and child is a Wildcat uniform. I can
picture it now.
Not great.
Beautiful.
But yeah, like Aaron Boone, I mean, he's almost never wearing the
Why
actual.
can't they just wear like khaki pants? They can wear shorts. Baseball. I mean, we've seen, and this is like during practice, but like Fitz will come out in like shorts.
Right. Well, yeah, from like a workout day. Yeah.
Yeah, right. He'll have shorts and he'll have like a KU like a Matt
It's
Rule
always awesome.
smock on, and it looks great.
Awesome.
Why can't they just wear that?
Yeah.
That's fine. Just have them wear shorts. That's fine.
Or the
or
Yankees'
khakis.
facial hair policy, speaking to the Yankees, be on here had they not gotten rid of it.
Also stupid.
Yeah.
Also the dumbest rule
Was that just this year or was that last year? I think it was maybe last year they got rid of it.
I think
So
it
it's
was
a whole big deal.
last year. That sounds right.
Yeah.
I believe it was last year when they got rid of it, and they said it had to be what was it? It had to be tasteful. I think
it had to be
the
a
word that they
mustache,
said.
a mustache or nothing.
Yeah, so dumb. That's so stupid. I hate it so much. Number 7 on my top 10 stupid rules: no spiking the ball in college football.
Oh my God, yeah, it's
Why?
terrible. I'm surprised that's not higher.
It should be higher. Like, it's why? I mean, it also, like, you see they'll sometimes they'll throw it, and it's like, well, so they just can't go over. That's like, why are you drawing that line? That's a weird line to draw.
Mm-hmm.
That's so dumb. Also, they do it in the NFL. They spike the ball.
Being weird about celebrations in general.
Taunting, sure, fine, whatever. But it's like, seriously, like, you're not gonna allow them to spike the football? That's like, that's a top tier number 1 touchdown celebration.
Your adrenaline, and I want to say, I mean, that's what everybody thinks to do.
Absolutely.
Unless you've planned it out, like, Tony Gonzalez doing the dunk over the goalpost and all that. Unless you've planned it out and have your own thing, which I have no idea what is unsportsmanlike conduct anymore on that front. But you get a touchdown, the first thing we all want to do, grab the pigskin and just throw it as hard as
throw it into the ground.
Why is that what we want to do? I don't know, but that's what we all want to do. Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, what? High school, I'll buy that because they're kids and you want to teach good sportsmanship. When you get into college, especially with the fact that
that's not bad
kids
sportsmanship, though. It's just spiking the football.
Yeah, it's your adrenaline, man.
Yeah.
Like, I remember we used to be so scared when I was in high school. Like, when I would score touchdowns, all we could do is like jump. We'd do the jump hug. That's what we would do.
Yeah.
Like jump and like go wham like that.
Right.
And then I would still have the football, and then I would run over and I would hand it to the referee. I was scared to like toss it to the referee because like, what if I toss it accidentally too high, and what if they flag me for it? Because they were they were hardcore about that stuff in high school.
Yeah.
College was a little bit different. Granted, I didn't score any touchdowns in college, but like I saw it. Like they were a little bit more lenient, but you still couldn't spike the football. Meanwhile, in the NFL, you have whole choreographed sequences of guys pretending to be bowling pins.
Right.
It's so dumb. I don't know. It's like literally because college, the money aspect has gotten into it to where it is now just professional. It's like, oh, yeah, we'll pay these guys all this money, but it's like, but we draw the line at spiking footballs.
Right.
That'll keep the sanctity of the sport. It's so dumb. I hate it so much. Number 6 on my top 10 stupid rules. This is a non-sports one. I never understood this one. No elbows on the dinner table. This is one of those table manner ones. Like, chew with your mouth closed. I get that, right? Like, don't talk while your mouth is full. Yeah. Those kind of stuff. Elbows on the dinner table?
Right.
You want me to? And then
I'm with
not
you.
Like, why can't I relax? Like, what? This is comfortable.
Here's a question for you. How do you cut your steak? How are you holding your fork?
I go thumb where I'm holding the fork with my thumb. I go thumb down.
Yeah, you flip it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't hold it.
Caitlin
I don't
does
hold it thumb up like this, like a caveman.
Caitlin does it that way. I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
dude, you got to flip your fork over and cut it that way.
Do you go between the
No, I don't.
fingers?
No. Between Two Fountains, a great podcast on the Kansas Nation Podcast Network. We will let you know when we have a new episode of that. Greg
Random
Gurley,
plug.
McShafer.
You looked at the wrong camera too.
Whoops.
No.
Greg Gurley,
Were you
McShafer.
taught that as a kid? No elbows on the dinner
Yes, that
table?
was a thing, and I don't.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think my parents really cared though.
Mine didn't either,
So,
but
yeah.
like I've been to like other people's houses where they're like,
Yeah, you have to like be very
it's like, you're not my mom. Don't tell me what to do.
right.
A, and then B, why? Why can't I put my elbows on the dinner table? What is it, an elbow-free dinner table? What are my elbows contaminated? It's going to contaminate the food? It's dumb. Hate it. It's really stupid.
Number 5.
Number five on my top 10 stupid rules. This is an interesting one. The college basketball jump ball rule. This is one of the very few things I agree with on the NBA. The fact that whenever there's a jump ball, they do a jump ball. Why is that so hard?
Yeah.
Why do you have to have the possession arrow? It's dumb. You have to have another person there who's switching the possession arrow. What if they get it wrong? That doesn't make sense to me. I think it would be better to put a little athletic ability into a true jump ball.
Yeah.
That's why it was initially called a jump ball.
I think I agree.
Because that's what they would do. And then they were like, let's just give them arrows. Let's just have one person decide who gets the ball first. Why?
I think I agree. Especially because when it gets down to game point and a jump ball happens and you're like, oh my God, I hope, because no one has any idea. Players, coaches, fans, anybody, no one has any idea at any given point who has the arrow.
Oh, I know.
No one has any clue. Even coming out of halftime, it's like, oh, good, it's our ball. Like, no one has any idea.
No.
Unless it's like the final 8 seconds of the game and there's a timeout called or something. Otherwise, there's a tie ball with 35 seconds to go, and you're just like, oh my God, I hope we have the arrow. Where is it?
Right.
But no, I agree. It would add, and if you're the losing team in that scenario, you want to give yourself a chance.
Right.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I also think college should go to quarters as well.
I do too.
For the
College
free throw situation.
Men's college basketball is the only form of basketball that goes halves.
Yeah.
High school.
One of these days.
High school men's and women's is quarters. Women's college
FIBA.
basketball is quarters. NBA
European.
quarters. WNBA is quarters. FIBA is quarters.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that's halves is men's college basketball.
Yes.
I'm surprised they haven't changed that just because of the commercials.
Yeah.
You'd think that they would do. I mean, they literally added hydration breaks for the FIFA World Cup.
Right.
You would think like, having 2 extra breaks, like advertisers would be all over that. That is a weird one. But I want more jump balls. I think it adds to the pageantry of it all. Because I think jump balls are a fun part of the game. You only get to see it once.
Right.
I want more. I want more jump balls. That's like one of the very few things that I agree with the NBA on. Anyway, number 4 on my top 10 stupid rules, I am going to go with not having more than 4 people in a group of golf. So you and I
think
happen
there are
to
a lot.
us.
We did, and I think there are a lot of dumb rules in golf. Just got to say, I don't want to offend anybody, but
I don't think you're offending anybody.
I might be offending some listeners. We'll
I
see.
think you should
But
have.
yes.
I think you should have 1 throw per round.
Yeah, right. That'd be fun.
No, but
but try this on for size.
Yes.
1 throw per round, but what if it's multiple throws per round? And what if instead of a golf ball, it's a frisbee?
Ooh, that's good. Write that down. I don't think anybody's ever done that before.
You like that idea?
Also, it's a disc. Okay, it's like a noob.
I've actually never played frolf. Anyway,
it's
yeah,
disc golf.
not having more than 4. That's a pace of play thing. You know that.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. Okay, so I'll put this on for size. At my bachelor party, which was down in Houston, we went golfing. We had 10 guys. 10 guys who were down there. So we had a group of 4, and then a group of 2. But we decided, hey, it'll probably speed things up if we take our group of 2, because that right there, that's 3 groups. Let's take the group of 2, lump it in with that back group of 4. Now that's only 2 groups. And then the marshal comes over and
he
says,
didn't like it.
Hey, guys, you can't have more than 4 people. It'll disrupt the pace of
The
play.
lady and-
You guys hang back for 30 minutes
Right.
while these guys finish, and then you can go play,
Yeah.
and that'll speed up the pace of play. It doesn't make sense.
Spoiler alert, I ended up in the group of 2.
You did?
At the very back. The lady at the pro shop was really nice because she gave us a 5th cart.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But then we're just waiting for the group of 4 ahead of us to essentially be on the green before we can tee off.
Right.
And it slowed everything down.
It
But
did.
yeah.
It does slow everything down. It's like if you have 6 guys, then you should be able to play with 6 guys instead of splitting it up into 2 separate groups.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
I don't like a lot of the golf, like I
Golf
said.
etiquette in and of
Golf
itself.
etiquette, yeah.
Like why can't
Some of it
Why can't I wear a cutoff T-shirt?
Right.
That's dumb. Why do I have to wear? Oh, I have to wear a collared shirt.
Why can't I break into a verse of the fray when somebody's about to tee off?
Well, okay,
I mean-
I kind of understand the no talking.
But
about
it is
backswing
it
stuff.
is funny
Yeah.
though because like people be playing music
Right.
during that and that's not a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But if somebody
But if somebody talks, oh, hey,
yeah, and
whoa.
then the whole I get to an extent the cart path only for par 3s or
If
certain
it's wet.
holes if it's wet. I don't think it should be. Again, I'm offending people, but I think you should be able to drive in front of the green if it's the same grass that was 150 yards back. You should be able
Absolutely.
to drive in front of the green.
Absolutely. Don't drive on the green, but like
Right.
Like, why do you have to have a 100-yard grace period?
Yeah.
It's dumb. No, I 100% with you. It's so stupid. There's a lot of stuff with golf that probably should have been on here. Most notably, which leads me into number 3, I believe. Yes, it's 3. I didn't number them. Dress codes.
Yeah.
Just dress codes in general. They're really stupid. Like our technical director, Elijah Schmidt, has a nose ring hole that is closed up since he started working here. I just don't like dress codes in general. Like, have you ever been to a restaurant with a dress code?
I hate that.
That's crazy.
I probably have. I mean, but I'm probably dressed nice enough in that scenario to where it was. But yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I went to one. It was in St. Louis where I went to a place with a dress code. Mm-hmm. I want to, because I explained it. I was like, hey, I don't have another shirt. Like, I don't even live around here. We just wanted to go eat. They were like nice enough to be like, whatever. Like, I was wearing like a t-shirt. Yeah. And I was wearing a t-shirt and shorts. They were mad about the shorts. Yeah. Because they're like, you had to wear pants. I was like, guys, I don't have pants. Like, I didn't pack pants. I live 5 hours away. I don't have pants.
I feel like most places are more understanding. Like, we had a nice dinner in Vegas last time I was there, and I was looking around, and it was like it was a nice restaurant, and I feel like there wasn't anything too. Yeah. Which it's a breath of fresh air. It's like, okay, people should wear what they want to wear. I mean, obviously there's a line. You know, we know that. Yeah. But
wearing like a Who Farted t-shirt.
Yeah. You gotta wear. You gotta have clothes on.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah.
Like, the standard rule should be no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Unless you're at the lake, in which case no shirt, no shoes. That's no big deal.
No problem. Look at you. You're like Kenny Chesney.
Wow, I'm surprised you even know. Kenny Chesney.
Hey man, I seen Kenny Chesney live in concert before. Great. That was fun. It was awesome. All right, number 2 is having tackles report eligible.
Yes,
that's a dumb one.
Shout out to Dan Skipper, by the way.
Shout out to Winter, by the way. Shout out to Dan Skipper.
Got robbed of a touchdown.
I hate it. I don't like it. It takes away from trick plays. Because every time you go, number 75 has reported eligible.
I guess they're throwing it to 75.
Wonder what's happening here.
Calvin Clements.
No, it's dumb. It's so stupid. I don't think they should have to do that. I want more trick plays, more trickery. It makes football more fun. And instead they're like, oh, no. Honestly, a good way to change that is just have both of your offensive tackles wear the number like 88.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. There's probably rules on that, and there's probably rules on how many people can report eligible.
But there's no rule. I mean, the number rules now are just different now.
Right.
So, like, why not? Kevin Otis is wearing 88 as a interior defensive lineman, right? You have Dak Brinkley wearing number 9 coming off the edge. Why?
Oh, man, I just had a great top 10 idea while you're thinking.
What is it?
I can't say because I'm going to keep it for when you're gone.
Okay. Is it jersey number related?
I am not going to tell you.
I hate it though. It's the stupidest rule. The number 75 has reported eligible.
I guess they're throwing it to 75.
Yeah. It's like, all right, fine. Just ruined everything.
Announce it to 75,000 people.
And they announce it over.
Keep your eye on 75 here, especially if you're the defensive coordinator.
Why can't they just be like, yeah, no, exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, why can't just number 75 go over to the ref and be like, hey,
yeah,
I'm eligible.
Right.
That's a good way of
reporting it. Or
you
should just be allowed to throw to your tackles whenever you want. How about that?
Yeah. Or, like, make sure that you need to make sure that the referees know, like, as long as you're the last person on the line, defenses should know that you're eligible.
Right.
You know? Like, if you're a defensive coordinator or you're a secondary or a middle linebacker, you need to be able to spot, like, okay, hey, those 2 wide receivers on the outside, they're off the ball. That means this defensive tackle is right, or this offensive tackle is eligible. I think it's the dumbest rule. I absolutely hate it. Drum roll. Number 1 on my top 10 stupid rules. I have a track one. This is something that I've
a track one.
False starts automatically disqualifying you. I think everyone gets 1.
Yeah.
Everyone should get 1. That's it. My buddy Cody, who's best man at my
that
wedding.
Would take forever.
Here's the thing. My buddy Cody, who's the best man at my wedding, went to Washburn Rural. He ran the 4x1. He was the lead lead runner in the 4x1 at this state tournament. in the finals.
Oh God.
False started. Automatically disqualified. They were the favorites to win.
Senior year?
They were in lane 4.
Their entire
Yeah, his senior year.
So it wasn't an individual disqualified.
It wasn't an individual. It was 4x4.
Oh my God.
So he had three other guys running with him. They were in lane 4, I think. If I'm remembering,
I will
the story
make sure to
correctly.
never bring that up to him.
Don't ever. He
Yeah.
hates it.
I'm sure.
That's like the thing.
Does he think that he didn't false start, or does he know that he false started?
He knows that he did.
Yeah.
But he hates it when it's brought up.
I'm sure. That's terrible.
It's brutal.
Man.
It's absolutely brutal.
My buddy,
I think
my buddy
everybody should get
Sam
one.
had a similar thing that I never bring up. Have I told you this before?
It's a tennis one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
It's like that's just part of sports. But
Yeah.
yeah, man.
No, it's tough. I think false starts. I think you get one. But also it's like, there's a lot of, you're anxious. You're just like tensed up, and you get away for the gun, and sometimes your adrenaline gets going. And you go.
Yeah.
They go bang bang, twice. Go, hey, false start. That was your one warning.
Yeah.
Everyone get back.
Right.
I think that they should get one. I only have one more honorable mention on here. It was just waiting to be seated when there are open tables.
Right.
Hate it. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Like, I guess you got to probably alert somebody.
I mean, I do when I walk into a restaurant. I'm like, can we just take?
Yeah. They're like, hey, it's about a 15-minute wait. You're like, I see 5 open tables right now.
Right.
Can I just sit there?
I get it. You get it as well. There's like certain sections and all that. But yeah,
no, it's dumb.
It's like, dude, I'm hungry.
Like I literally I want to rally the troops who everyone else are waiting. They're like, all right, there's 5 open tables. Look at that. There are 4 people. There are 4 groups waiting right now. Hey, you go that one. You go there, and I'll go here.
Yeah.
Like I just want to do it.
Right.
Instead of making some minimum wage high school kid figure that out. I was like, hey, I can we just do this ourselves? Can we just handle this? It's dumb.
Top 10 Tuesday, top 10 stupid rules, courtesy of Dan Courtwright. Hey, if you missed anything.
Honorable mention, by the way, just the NCAA as a whole. That was why we did
segment
this.
we had. Yeah, that was the whole point of this. But if we missed any stupid rules just in life that you don't like, let us know. At the Kansas Nation, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Kansas Nation on Facebook. After this, we're going back to the Anderson Family Football Complex. Going to hear from a quartet of KU football players. Defenders who are returning to the Jayhawks, hoping for an even better performance in 2026. That's next, ESPN Kansas City and kansasnation.com. I want to tell you about our partners at Ameritrust Credit Union. You know the feeling. The fieldhouse gets loud, the chant starts low, and the Jayhawks bring the energy. That is Lawrence. Ameritrust Credit Union thinks your money deserves that same feeling. A team in your corner that's pulling for you, win or lose, season after season. Financial well-being isn't just something they offer, it's why they exist. First car, first home, first business, whatever's next in your money story, they are right around the corner at 6th and Wakarusa in West Lawrence. Real people making real decisions locally. Ameritrust Credit Union is the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics. Stop by the branch or visit ameritrust.org, federally insured by the NCUA. Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright back with you. We're going to go back to some sights and sounds of KU Football Media Day from last week. We're going to hear from 4 returning Jayhawk defenders. It's going to be Mason Ellis, Blake Herold, Taylor Davis, and Trey Lathan in succession. Let's hear from those 4 guys now.
Mason, just how excited are you for this season upcoming, obviously being a Kansas kid, and you've been in this program for a long time, but just how excited are you to get back out there this year?
Oh, man, I'm super excited. We got a great group of guys that came in, hopefully give us a lot of depth. So, when people get tired, people can come in. There's no drop-off. Things just keep rolling. So I'm pretty excited about that. Coach Akina coming in, it's huge. He's been working with the nickels, but just him bringing his smarts of the game, man, it's been awesome.
Yeah, with Dwayne Akina obviously coming over, I mean, is he really showing you guys VHS tapes of film back in the day?
Yeah, he's showing us tapes from anywhere from 1970s, 1980s-ish to last year, a few years ago. But yeah, he just shows us things are time tested. The game has changed a lot, but there's still things that you can learn that has stayed true throughout. So.
100%. We've heard a lot about the different guys at the nickel position. Obviously, you're really versatile as well, playing that safety, sometimes slotting into that nickel. What are you seeing from some of the new guys in kind of your position?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, all of us are kind of learning every position so we can all move around. Nickel position specifically, like Trey Brown, Kai, and then EJ even from corners, moved him to nickel too, playing around. But it just gives us a lot of versatility, a lot of extra bodies so that we can rotate and everybody can get working.
What have you seen from Coach DK? Obviously, this is his second year being at the helm, at the defensive coordinator spot. Have you seen him kind of grow as a coach and, acclimate himself?
Yeah, I mean, Coach DK has always been awesome. Everything's kind of stayed the same, with how he does it. But being the second year and kind of his defense, I feel like people have grabbed a really good grasp on it. People have learned it a lot better, so should be able to fly around.
Growing up a Kansas kid, obviously you probably followed KU football growing up. You saw the old booth. I mean, how exciting is it to see this all kind of come into fruition?
Yeah, like when I first got here 5 years ago, it was all the old locker room, old weight room, everything. So being through this whole transformation has been awesome. It's a whole new booth. It's really exciting. Can't wait to see it packed.
What can the Jayhawk fans expect out of Mason Ellis this year?
Fast, physical. Same thing every year.
Thanks, Mason. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Blake, obviously, you went to Big 12 Media Days. I mean, you're looked at as one of the main guys on this defense. I mean, just talk about that mentality, how that's kind of changed your mentality going into this year.
I don't think it changes a whole lot other than being a leader, kind of trying to show guys the ropes, kind of how we do stuff, but also setting that tone on game day and practice, like lifts, all that kind of stuff. Just being able to set the tone is probably the only thing that's changing, but the mindset's always the same, go out, dominate every play.
Is that something that comes natural to you, being a leader? I mean, did you have to do that in high school, or, I mean, just...
Nah, definitely not natural, but kind of over this spring and this summer, I've kind of learned a lot about leadership and a lot about just being able to be authentic. I think I said that the other day in the media as well, but just for me, it's kind of just being authentic and being genuine, because I might not lead every like everyone else does or all that kind of hoorah stuff or whatever, but I mean, me being me and being genuine and authentic, I think it is very helpful to this team.
Talk about that experience going down to Frisco, Texas, being able to represent KU football. I mean, just how cool of an experience was that?
No, it was super cool. A lot of great questions, a lot of cool people, a lot of cool stuff down there too. A lot of the cameras and the lights and all the photos and stuff. It was really fun to be down there and represent KU.
Talk about some of the new guys coming in with Biggie Smalls and Kevin Otis. I mean, some of these guys, obviously new faces. What have you kind of done as a leader, back to that, to kind of make sure that you guys are bonding maybe off the field, maybe building that chemistry with each other?
Oh yeah, continue to just have fun with it. At the end of the day, we got to have fun with everything we're doing. So whether it's on the field, off the field, I mean, I think we gelled really quickly. Whether it was going out to eat when they first got here, or it was hanging out at somebody's house or whatever it was, I think we gelled really quickly. And then when we got into the facility where we were playing football, it kind of carried over. So being able to gel that quickly, I think, really helped us on the field as well as off the field, just being great friends.
Got to have a lot of communication with the linebackers, obviously, with Trey Lathan coming back, but a lot of new guys back there, kind of telling you guys what's going on behind the offensive line. I mean, just talk to me about the communication and maybe the experience that you've had, building that chemistry with the linebackers behind you.
That's been great as well. I mean, we split into culture teams, so I mean, I might not be in the same team as all my DTs. So we kind of split up and get to know everybody on the team. Like I might be talking to a wide receiver, so. But getting to know Bam and I mean, I've known Trey, but just kind of building our relationship a little bit more and kind of building that trust. And I think that helps us a whole lot on the field. Them knowing that I'm going to be where I need to be and me knowing that they're going to be where they need to be is super helpful to our defense, just making sure that everyone's doing their job, doing their 111. So.
With DK McDonald going into year 2, how have you seen him grow as a coach? Obviously, last year was his first year. There's a learning curve with everything, but year 2, I mean, he's primed for a big one.
Yeah, no, I think I've seen him kind of take over our defense as a whole, kind of continue to lead us where he needs to lead us, but also letting the players take that leadership role as well. But for DK, I think he's done a great job kind of enforcing what he needs to enforce, but then also letting the players kind of take over where he needed to take over and continue to lead these guys.
How cool is it to see the stadium continuing on its construction? Obviously, last year you had the entire east side, kind of a constant reminder of what was. Now they're working on that east side. It's going to be a little bit of a construction side, but how cool is it to see that come to fruition?
Oh, it's super cool. It's just, we were practicing in the stadium this morning, so just being in there is surreal almost. I mean, looking at the completely finished side is just like, it's crazy to me. From playing in the old booth to what we're in now is just, it's a complete transformation. So it's been very surreal for me.
What's something that you've been working on personally to get better and make sure your game gets to that next level for this year?
I think just understanding defenses, understanding kind of what offenses are doing too. Like if I can understand what Trey and Bam and those guys are doing behind me, then that helps me do my job a whole lot better as well. So kind of understanding our scheme as a whole, not just what the D-line is doing, but then also understanding offenses and tendencies and all the formations and stuff and what can kind of come out of those things.
What can we see out of Blake Herold this year on the football field?
Dominance. I think that's kind of what I've been able to put on tape this camp, and that's kind of what I want to do this season. So trying to be dominant every play.
One last thing for you, going up against Andy Kotelnicki's offense, it's obviously creative, and everyone continues to talk about all the different weird pre-snap motions and stuff that he does. I mean, do you think that's getting you guys ready for this upcoming year?
100%. It gets us ready in every way possible. Seeing every kind of shift in motion that you can possibly think of helps us get ready, helps us make sure that our checks are on balance and stuff like that, because when we go play a team on Saturday, it's always going to be easier than what we're seeing in practice. So I think that helps us a whole lot.
Thanks, Blake. Good luck this year.
Appreciate it.
Taylor, I mean, this is nothing new to you, obviously coming off of a big season from last year. How's your fall camp been going? And we heard a lot about the leadership that you've provided in that safety room as well.
Fall camp's been going good, just trying to stack good days, build good habits so they can transition over to the gameplay as well. Just developing in my leadership qualities. Coach Sleeve has done a really good job of pouring into me, kind of teaching me the ropes of how to be a leader, when to intervene, when to pull back, and things like that.
Coach Sleeve was kind of in the news a couple of weeks ago just about how much you guys have grown as a football team, and in particular, I mean, faster, stronger, everything along those lines. I mean, do you feel like for you and your position group as well?
Yeah, we've gotten noticeably bigger as a position group and as a team, and that's just like a testament to how Coach Sleeve has been training us, the work he's done to just pour into us as not only players but as humans as well.
What have you been doing in particular personally to kind of get your game to that next level, I guess, compared to from last year to this year?
Not getting bored with the basics. I feel like a lot of people get bored with the basics, and once you do that, you kind of lose yourself. So just establish a strong foundation of the basic things I need and keep doing those over and over, and those daily deposits will transfer over to the field.
Corey said you're pretty good at cooking up wings. What flavors are you throwing on there?
Nah, I'm honey. I'm a honey guy. I'm a honey barbecue type of guy, so I'll put some honey and some barbecue on there.
How fun has it been seeing all these new faces come along in the defense and being able to bond with them over this offseason?
It's been good. We have like a variety of personalities, so kind of just like mixing and matching, seeing like how everybody was raised, seeing like what people like to do, seeing different cultures. So it's been pretty cool just seeing all that.
And with Coach DK going into year 2, I mean, you saw it last year. How have you seen him grow as a coach, particularly because he has kind of an emphasis on the secondary?
He's such a selfless coach. He always blames himself, but like he's just poured us onto us more than like he ever has, and he keeps doing it daily. And as a result, the team has gotten better. People individually have gotten better, and he's made the team better in general.
What can the fans see out of Taylor Davis this year on the football field?
Like Corey said, just playing with my head is on fire and doing anything to help my team win.
Good luck this year.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Trey, just how has fall camp gone for you? I mean, year 2 in this Kansas program.
It's going really well. Being it's my second year, being able to play faster, being able to understand the scheme a lot way faster. So it's been going really well.
And September 4th is coming up. Obviously, Long Island coming into town. I mean, what have you seen from all the other guys being able to get game ready? Do you feel like you guys are there?
I feel like we're still working our way there, but most definitely when the time comes, I feel like we'll be ready to compete.
Talk about the new booth. I mean, just seeing it under construction, obviously seeing the old East Side last year, and now what it is now. I mean, how excited are you to get back out there?
I'm really excited. They just put the patches on the field, the Monster logo, and all that stuff. Just being able to practice out there again it feels like it's football season. So definitely.
What are you seeing out of the linebacker room? A lot of new guys, a lot of new faces. I mean, how are you guys kind of bonding off the field, I guess?
We're bonding really well. We have just recently went to Andretti's, the other day. They come over to my house. We chill, play in my basement and stuff like that, play the Wii and stuff. So it's been really good, but I'm excited to play with these guys. They poured a lot into this program since they've been here. So,
what Wii games are you playing? Wii Sports?
Yeah, Wii Sports. Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. So, yeah.
Who's the best one?
It's my crib. I got the home court advantage, so I'm good at everything.
Fair enough. That makes sense. Looking at DK McDonald, I mean, what do you see from him, like the growth that he's had heading into year 2 of being the defensive coordinator, being that top man?
He has a tremendous amount of growth, especially in his play calling and especially I feel like bonding with us. A lot of us were new last year and a lot of us are new again this year. So definitely just, connecting with us on a deeper level than just coach the player, So he's made a tremendous amount of growth.
And with the defensive line, I mean, you're right behind them, probably calling out different things, and they have a bunch of different stunts as well. I mean, what are you seeing from those D linemen, particularly Eman Smalls and Blake Herold, obviously coming back for another big year for him?
Yeah, I've just seen a lot. Those guys up there, they help us. They help us make plays. They hold double team. Eman, he got those big arms. He's 300-something pounds, so he's plugging up the A gap, and Blake is going to be Blake at the end of the day. He's a hard worker, and I'm excited to play with those guys in front of me. So,
going up against Andy Kotelnicki's offense, known for his creativity, I mean, has that kind of tricked you up at all in fall camp? And do you think that's getting you prepared for this year?
Yeah. It most definitely has. I played against him, 2 years at West Virginia. But yeah, it's definitely some head scratchers sometimes. Make you mad, make you want to play another team. So got to take my hand out on LIU when we play him. So
good luck this year.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's some sights and sounds from KU players at KU Football Media Day. And again, throughout the rest of this week, we're going to hear from all sorts of players. We're going to have tight ends coach Matt Lubick. We're going to hear from him, Quincy Davis, Jabril Alameen, Corey Gordon, Trey Brown, Cam Pickett, Biggie Smalls, Chase Jenkins, Nick Morrow, more from Dylan Edwards, more from Yasin Willis, all sorts of stuff for you here on Rock Chalk Sports. But those are some defensive returners: Mason Ellis, Blake Herold, Taylor Davis, and Trey Lathan. After this, little special segment to close out Rock Chalk Sports right here on KansasNation.com. Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright back with you here with Elijah Schmidt behind the cameras on Rock Chalk Sports. Dan, tell us about our friends over at Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment. They can help you out if you're in the market.
I would love to. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, then Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment gets you, or you'll get Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment. They're excited to help you experience the fun and adventure that quality lawn and garden and outdoor power equipment can bring into your life. They're an outdoor power equipment dealership serving the Lawrence area, also the Valley Falls area, offering the best in new and pre-owned Ferris, Hustler, and Country Clipper lawnmowers, Mahindra tractors and implements, Arcticat ATVs and UTVs, Steel handhelds, and Billy Goat specialty turf products. They're located at 1795 East 1500 Road here in Lawrence. Be sure to check them out at HeinenOPE.com. That's HeinenOPE.com. Sean, happy anniversary, buddy.
It's been the 1 year.
It has been 1 year. We've known each other for longer. Our first time ever doing a show together was like
2.5.
April 20-something. No, it was the
April, like first week of April, I think.
No, that's right. It was I remember the first show that we ever did was the day after the national championship game.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Right into the offseason after college basketball season ended. Yeah.
Oh, the perfect time to start doing a show.
I wonder if it was planned out by the person who was there before us.
I think it was. Shout out to Nicholas Springer for doing that. Good guy. Good friend of the show.
We've got
happy 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year since we did our first show here. Our very first show was over at Hy-Vee. That was way louder than I thought.
That was so
You
loud.
thought it was not going to make a mess, and it did. Bummer, dude.
It made way too much of a mess.
Oh, my God. Anyway, the confetti
I thought it was on strings. I thought it was an easy cleanup.
Oh, man, and you're going to have to sweep that up, taking into account all the wires and cords that set up the cameras.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'll clean that up.
Oh, my God. What a mess.
Happy 1 year.
1 year, some great memories from year one, but want to shout out everybody who's been watching. It's been fantastic. It's been fantastic seeing this thing grow. So the likes, comments, subscriptions that you guys have given us on social media have been a big help and helping us get to our point. I don't think we thought that this thing would take off as quickly as it has, but here we are a year in, and now year two is going to be even better. So make sure that you're staying tuned in to socials and all that. Dan, any good memories from year one, Kansas
none that
Nation?
I can think of.
There's a it is funny going back to the weeks before our first show, putting together some of the furniture here in the Kansas Nation studio and kind of figuring out what this is going to look like, figuring out where things go, figuring out what our show is going to be, how it's going to be structured, when it's going to air, some other podcasts that we're going to have, all sorts of questions that we didn't have answers to back then.
Yeah, that's true, man. It's been a weird ride, man, because, like, I don't know, you and I talk about this, like, we walk into the studio every day, you kind of have to pinch yourself, you know, and like all jobs, like there will be some days where you're just like, oh man, I don't want to, but then like we're like shooting hoops, and we're like, all right, this is stupid. Like, what are we even complaining about? It's been so much fun, man. I mean, starting off, like, I remember walking into this place, and it was just an absolute construction zone.
Yeah, there was nothing here.
There was literally nothing here. There was like these weird slats on all the walls. We had to like take off and move all the way down to the basement. They're still down there, by the way, and there's just nothing going on. And now, I mean, moving, I don't know, I still feel like a sense of pride whenever I walk in, because it's like we built like these chairs and like those tables, and we brought like the couches in and hung the TVs, and I built this like bar back here. Like it was just like I don't know, like it is a cool thing.
It's a sweat equity thing. Sweat equity just
for sure.
Hauling stuff downstairs, hauling stuff upstairs, which we've done recently, putting together, you know, chairs, privacy screens. You mentioned the bar. You know, the lockers for our members here at Kansas Nation. We put those together.
That's right.
You know, we probably haven't played as many games as we could have. We haven't done enough Golden Tee and shuffleboard and all that. Probably
I agree.
enough.
I feel like we grinded on Golden Tee a lot in the beginning, and then now we don't as much anymore. We need to have like a Golden Tee.
We need to do something.
Like
but yeah, we've had some Jayhawk Radio Network post-game shows here that Elijah has been behind the camera. That's been fun. World Cup coverage this summer was a blast too.
Absolutely.
Being downtown, supporting Team Algeria, supporting Team USA, and providing coverage of the watch parties and everything. Also had a couple shows during the Big 12 tournament over at 325.
That's right. 325 was cool.
Spaces, that was fun. You were on your deathbed Big 12 tournament. I will never forget, man.
I was so
scuffled.
Sick. I didn't get to like appreciate it as much because I was sicker than a dog, man.
Right. Well, hopefully
it was
this
fun,
coming
though.
March have some more fun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, a lot of great stuff that's still to come here at Kansas Nation. So I appreciate all of you, all the listeners, all the fans supporting the show, everyone on social media as well. Like I said, it's been a lot of fun. You guys sticking with us through all the weird, dumb, fun stuff that we like to do.
We had trivia night a few weeks ago. We're gonna have more events like that moving forward.
We're thinking about doing like a costume party, which would be that'll be fun. Like I'm excited about it.
We're big holidays people, so Christmas,
for sure,
and Halloween. We're gonna have,
but it's been such a grind through this summer, and like you said, like obviously the World Cup got us through it. KU baseball had that extended run where like I don't know what we would have talked about in June without KU baseball being around. You know what I mean? Transfer portal, all this weird stuff. But like, coming into year two, I mean, you know this more than anybody. Like our game coverage was really like a feel it out type of like we didn't know what to do. We were so used to being at the games and just watching, taking notes
for our show.
For the show. And then we'd come in Monday and just talk about it. And that was all we did. And then now it's like, we have this whole social media aspect of it where we got to like get stuff and all this content and
figuring out what people want to see.
Figuring out what people want to see. And so now I feel like we're in such a groove, at least just like learning as we went, that now is like this football season is going to be the biggest one yet for us, I think.
And
so
again,
it'll be a lot of fun.
It's been so much fun having the guests of the show too. Like we've had some insiders for some opponents behind enemy lines, if you will. But Henry Greenstein has been so consistent throughout. I want to shout him out. He's been a guest on Wednesday for us. KUSports.com, LJWorld.com.
Yeah.
Going back to our previous show, David Lesky as well, going back to our previous show. We had him on earlier talking Royals baseball. Nick Springer, Kevin Flaherty. We've had David Lawrence on. Of course, Brian Haney at times. We had Seren Petro on last week to talk Chiefs football.
Well, it's also been cool because, like, Haney will do a show, and then, like, I got to meet Kerry Meyer and Todd Reesing and Christian Brown. And, I mean, Tyshawn did a show with us. And, like, I got to be, like, friendly with Tyshawn Taylor. Like, how crazy is that we were able to do anything like that? I mean, this is just, like, a surreal thing where, like, you ask 10-year-old Dan, and it's like, this dude's living the dream.
Yeah,
so it's cool, man. You got to love it.
Great, yeah. A lot of KU legends, and looking forward to, again, this thing continuing to roll off. We're 1 year in, but a lot of great coverage coming up here on Kansas Nation. So appreciate you guys. You guys are what's most important to us, the fans out there. So really, really want to say thanks for Elijah Schmidt, who has been also fantastic dating back to basically day one of
Basically
Kansas
day one.
Nation. He runs the shows
I'll
for
get another
us.
confetti cannon for his 1 year.
And he is much appreciated. And Dan Courtwright, Sean Kellerman saying, join us tomorrow, another edition of Rock Chalk Sports, 4 to 6. We'll have Henry Greenstein, we'll have KU Mailbag, and more stuff from KU football as KU against Long Island is a week from Friday to kick off the 2026 season. ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com.